Hello guys, my name is Jacob. Welcome back to the Jacob Show. Guys, you may be wondering, Jacob, where's the tier list video for the Smash Bros. Predictions? Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. I actually did make that video. I filmed it. I was about to upload it, but then it got separated into two parts. And it was a 35-minute video. And I didn't know whether or not you guys will really want to watch a 35-minute video, because I feel like that you guys will get bored halfway through or right at the beginning, so I didn't upload it at all. I think about maybe for that video, just a live stream probably for that tier list, because I got a lot of things to say for those people in that tier list. But anyways, let's begin with this. So you may be wondering, Jacob, what are you doing this day? What are you doing today? What is the video for today? Well, if you haven't seen on the thumbnail or on the video on the video title, wherever, basically what this video is about is a theory that I have formulated after the recent Smash VR update for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, or as all you Nintendo Switch users will actually call it, update version 3.10. And of course, I've actually made this theory. I've actually calculated this theory, and so I will tell you this theory. My theory is that Nintendo is planning a new console in secret. And this new console is being tested by what exactly? Well, the Nintendo Labo. What if Nintendo is creating a virtual reality system? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the NVRS Theory, or the Nintendo Virtual Reality System Theory. I will definitely be posting this on my Twitter, Facebook, and on my Instagram. Why? Because this theory is massive. This theory is big. And I feel like this theory is going to be true and stuff. And I feel like this theory will work. Just hear me out on this, okay? Alright, so, Jacob, why do you think Nintendo is making a virtual reality system, or in the works of planning a virtual reality system? Well, you see, Nintendo Labo is a big thing. Now, what do you do in labs? Well, in a lab, you pretty much it is a workstation to where you make a hypothesis, or you study a hypothesis, or you basically test the hypothesis to see if it's true. And that is what Nintendo Labo is. It's basically a blueprint for a virtual reality system. Think about it. We already have the VR goggles thanks to the Nintendo Labo, aka the virtual reality goggles kit, or the VR goggle, or the VR kit, whatever. And thanks to that kit, we've had updates to Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Super Mario Odyssey, along with Super Smash Bros. That basically gives us the ability to use the VR goggles in those games. Now, I tell you this, why do you think Nintendo would give those updates to those games? Well, let's go and look back at of course, Nintendo's past, looking at every single Legend of Zelda game and every single Super Mario game. Yes, even the side titles. And what I'm thinking is, well, not really thinking, but here's my idea of what could actually work, what they're actually planning on. Do you all remember Link's crossbow training on the Wii? Yeah, it was just a game where you play as Link standing in the field. I think, if I can remember correctly, shooting a crossbow at enemies. That is a very, very boring game. It is honestly like a major lackluster on the Wii. Now, release that on Virtual Console. Okay, release that on VR. Give it actual story. And give it some nice little good old controls, and you have a new game on this virtual reality system, Legend of Zelda VR. Buddy, I tell you, I feel like Link's crossbow training was made to be on the the virtual reality system. I feel like it would be perfect for a virtual reality system made by Nintendo. And also another thing that'll be perfect on a virtual reality system, Super Mario Tennis games. Yes, those games. Super Mario Tennis would be a perfect game on the VR. All right, and I feel like that's pretty much what Nintendo is doing. They're planning, they're strategizing to see if these games can actually work. Hey, I can actually bring up many more games like ARMS. ARMS would also work on VR. Punch Out would work on VR. Duck Hunt would sell like heck. I mean, like we haven't had a Punch Out game since the Wii. We haven't had a Duck Hunt game since the NES. And of course, the only time that we ever had like Punch Out represented in a Nintendo console or in a Nintendo game was in Smash Bros. In the form of Lil Mac being introduced into Smash Bros. on the Wii U and the 3DS. Now we look at the other stuff. We look at Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt was like represented in Smash Bros. Wii U 3DS with a 3D model. Now I tell you this, many of those games would actually work. A Duck Hunt on VR would work, and so would a Punch Out on VR. That would sell like heck. Okay, along with ARMS on VR, it would sell. Nintendo is possibly planning this out already. Now let's go ahead and look at another game. I want to say back in the world of the Nintendo 64, what other games could work on this VR system? Well, we could see the revival of Pokemon Snap. If y'all do not remember what the world of Pokemon Snap is, Pokemon Snap was a game on the Nintendo 64 where you take pictures of Pokemon, and everybody loved it, despite that being possibly the most boring game ever. Everybody loved it. I don't know why, I don't know how, but everybody loved playing that game and pretty much experiencing that game. So, Pokemon Snap on VR, I feel like they may do that. Also, another big thing that could honestly work for a Pokemon game on this virtual reality system, and I've always thought this premise for the virtual reality system. Pokemon Daycare. That is the name of the game. And pretty much the entire premise is you playing as a daycare owner, and you get to raise Pokemon that are dropped at the daycare. And you get to put those Pokemon in a specific region that best suits them. And you get to see how they get along with their Pokemon, how they like what types of like food do they like, and also like what region best suits them, or like what like section best suits, like for example a Zubat or a Meowth or a Oddish. What best suits those type of Pokemon? And I feel like, in my opinion, a Pokemon Daycare game would work amazing, as well as Pokemon Snap on the virtual reality system. We could also see Mario Kart, or as I call it, Mario Kart VR, where you're sitting with virtual reality goggles and you're just playing Mario Kart. Now there's a big problem with that, and that is, and I've heard, of course, I'm hearing you right now, that you may be saying, oh, Jacob, who would want to sit? The entire point of virtual reality is to stand. But here's the thing, though. Here is the major big thing, okay? Most humans in their everyday lives, they either A, stand, B, sit, C, lay, or D, they just move. They do something that is correlated to movement, other than speaking. So and I feel like Nintendo would definitely execute on the idea of, hey, it's just like VR is most VR games have people standing. How about this? We let them sit, and we take them and we let them experience a racing game on VR by sitting. And it's amazing. It's perfect. I feel like Nintendo has made many high risks. They have made a risk when they created the Nintendo 64. They made a risk when they created the motion controls. They made a risk when they created handheld consoles. They made millions of risks. So why won't they make a risk now? Why won't they, or not now, but at least later? Why won't they make a risk later with a virtual reality system that could honestly make them money? Think about it. Like, who wouldn't want to play as Link on a virtual reality game? Who wouldn't want to play as Mario? Like, who wouldn't want to play a Mario Tennis game on a virtual reality system? Who wouldn't want to play Mario Kart on a virtual reality system? Who wouldn't want to play Pokemon Snap on a virtual reality system? Or heck, even play Pokemon Snap again? I'm telling you, man, a virtual reality system is coming whether we like it or not. And Nintendo is in the midst of planning it. And Nintendo Labo is the blueprints of that theory, of that console. Nintendo Labo is the blueprints for the Nintendo virtual reality system. Now you may be wondering, Jacob, what about Smash Bros? Since every new console that comes out by Nintendo always consists of a Smash Bros. Game. It has been tradition with Nintendo. So how would VR Smash work? How can Super Smash Bros. On a virtual reality system work? And I hear you, and I think that possibly Nintendo wouldn't do a Super Smash Bros. Game on a virtual reality system. Why? Because the entire premise of Super Smash Bros. Is playing as your favorite character, beating up some other famous character. And of course, it just wouldn't really work. I mean, not only would there be lag because of all these CPUs, they're on there hopping and punching and attacking, but so would stage animations and everything else about it. It wouldn't work. A lot of it wouldn't even work. You had to cut it significantly for it to work. And that sucks. Nobody wants that. So, and hear me out. What if they released the NVRS on, as its own separate thing and release a console with it? It's like, okay, so if you want to have Smash Bros. And if you want to have some platforming Mario games, go to this console. But if you want full-on VR fun, go to this console. And so that way, so So that way, it's perfectly balanced, like all things should be, and that it works both ways. Like both worlds will pretty much be okay. And another big reason that I believe Nintendo is planning this console or this virtual reality system is that VR is growing in popularity. Last time that they did a VR console, it was the Virtual Boy, and that flopped like heck. No, like it was a massive failure. And I feel like the Virtual Boy, like all those games on the Virtual Boy could come back in this new VR system. And with this new VR system that Nintendo is possibly planning, they could reach out to a wider demographic, aka the virtual reality players. And the whole premise of it is going to be like, hey, virtual reality players, like, do you want to play as Mario on the virtual reality, or do you want to play as Link on a virtual reality console? Well, here you go. The NVRS, or the Nintendo Virtual Reality System. You're welcome. I can also see some Metroid games as well. Like, for example, the Metroid Prime trilogy would also work on a virtual reality system. And of course, virtual reality is growing more and more popular. It's growing more and more powerful, actually. So yeah, why not? Like, why can't we get a virtual reality system made by Nintendo? And also, like, another thing I have a big feeling for is that, of course, E3 is coming up in 5 days, but I don't think they're going to announce it at E3. But I mean, like, they're going to announce it soon, and I feel like if my theory is true, then I will celebrate. I'll go and do a live stream and be like, dude, we were right! But other than that, I'd say that's just it for this theory. I do see that like Super Smash Bros. On the VR would never ever work, so that kind of brings it down. But other than that, I feel like I've made my point. I've made my point across. I've made a lot of things, a lot of points that are interesting for this theory. So again, I will be posting this all over social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, probably Snapchat. But other than that, guys, if you did like this theory, use your file smash on that like button. Of course, leave a comment down below telling me what you thought of this theory. Do you believe that the NVRS theory is possible or is true? And if you do believe it's true, go ahead in the comment section below. Tell me some evidence. I want some more evidence for this theory. I feel like it's a big possibility, but I don't think this is like enough evidence. So please, more evidence. If you have any other like evidence somewhat, bring it down below in the comments section. Let's get this theory popular. Let's get this rolling. And also, I want to say on your upper right part of your screen, you will see the eye icon. And that eye icon will give you a poll telling, and I really want you to answer it honestly. Like, would you buy a NVRS or do you believe in the NVRS theory? Let me know on that poll and within the comment section below. Also, subscribe if you're new and tap that notification bell to be notified to do videos. Anyways, my name is Jacob Miller. I will see you next time on The Jacob Show.